Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. Today we're gonna check out the COLBOR Cineflare 5 fog machine. Let's open the super nifty pouch and see what's inside. You get the fog machine fluid, 4 tips to modify the fog stream, a magnetic tip that adds RGB lighting and a fan to disperse the fog and create super cool effects. Then there is the fog machine itself, I'm gonna talk about it later. On the top there is an accessory pouch, the remote for controlling the fog machine, a bendable extension tube, and a foam attachment to create still fog. And lastly, a USB-C cable. And finally, let's talk about specs. This is the size and weight. The construction quality feels nice. It has a tiny bit of play where the hinge is because you can rotate it 60 degrees, so it's more comfy to hold. It's all made of this matte black plastic. It kind of has a soft touch finish to it, and it kind of shows the fingerprints once you start touching it, especially once you are dealing with the fog fluid. On the bottom you have a tripod mount, USB-C for charging, color LCD screen for controlling the machine, plus and minus button, turn on, turn off and change mode, and this is the make fog button. Then here is to swivel, like I showed you before, so it becomes a gun, 60-degree angle. And on the top you have this magnetic nozzle that can be exchanged for the RGB light and fan. I'm gonna show you the effect later. And inside here you will find the fog fluid canister. You can unscrew it. It's made of metal and glass. It holds 12 milliliters of fluid and will give you around 10 minutes of runtime at full power. To recharge it, you open this rubber seal on the top and you just pour in the fog fluid. You need to wait 5 minutes before using it after refilling. The coil inside has 40 watts of power and it has a temperature sensor for safety. You can output fog continuously for 60 seconds at a time before resting 5 seconds between each cycle. So it's almost continuous, you just have a 5-second pause every minute of fog. The battery is not removable, 2500 milliamps. It charges in a couple of hours, and if you run the fog machine at full power, it lasts for around 30 minutes or 3 tanks of fog fluid. Let's check out the menu. Long press the power button to turn on the machine. Quick press the on-off button to select the fog amount. This is the maximum, you can reduce it. You see, it's a lot less. Press again to reduce the fan speed. Press it again and plus, so you can enter the fog cycle menu. You can select it on or off. The second setting is how long you want the fog cycle to last, so it's 10 seconds. The third option is how long it waits between each cycle, so it's 5 seconds. And the last setting is how many cycles overall. Lastly, you have the remote which toggles the machine on or off. And plus and minus adjusts both the fan speed and the foam amount together. You cannot change them individually with the remote. And finally, let's check out what all of the different tips do. You can only attach fog modifiers to this tip right here, basically, because this one, having a fan, it doesn't have the mount. You can use it without a tip. The narrow tip makes the stream faster. These are a couple of 45-degree angle tips if you need to rotate where the stream is coming from. And they don't modify the stream unless you use a tip. And this tip is threaded for the extension adapter right here. Just screw it in the front. And being long, sometimes you see it can detach because everything is pressure fit and magnetically fit. But yeah, once you put it there, it's gonna stay there quite strongly. The extension comes stock with a speed nozzle, but you can add the foam adapter to create still fog that just falls on the ground. And you can create some really cool effect. Now if I talk, I'm gonna move the foam, but yeah, you can you can fill up containers. Let's try the RGB and fan attachment. First of all, as soon as you plug it in, you can turn on the fan by pressing on the arrow up button. Press the M button, lights turn green, and now you can select the light output. You can change the brightness, and if you keep pressing, it changes the color, and it cycles through the RGB. The light isn't incredibly bright, but it allows you to create and disperse fog very, very fast. You see how fast, how big of a stream it creates. And it gives quite a bit of color to the fog, up to like 10-20 centimeters. If I shut down the studio lights, it's gonna be much more evident, and for photography, it's gonna be cool. I wish, by the way, the light was a little bit brighter for even more dramatic effect. And this is why I believe they called it the Cineflare, because it kind of does look like a smoke bomb you hold in your hand. Time for my final opinion on the Colbor CF5 fog machine. This product I can totally recommend it. It does what's advertised and it does it good. Actually, by the time I tried all of the tips for it, I filled this 50 square meter room with a lot of haze. Just look at this laser light, it's crazy. I like the fact that they tried innovating, adding a couple of nifty features like this 60-degree swivel is very ergonomic. Maybe you are photographing a plate and it's better doing this than this, of course. Maybe you set it up on a tripod, you can fill a room more horizontally, and maybe you forgot the accessory at home and it fits better in your backpack like this. The RGB light and fan attachment is a first for portable fog machines, and especially the fan can be super useful because it creates a thicker stream of fog. Maybe you are simulating an object breaking down and you have this big column of fog coming out of it. And also it helps spread out the fog quicker, so maybe you have to fill up a room, you are strict on time, this helps you. The RGB light is nifty, I like that they included it, but I feel like I would have been happier if it was a tiny bit brighter. Talking about cons, I don't have many, just minor gripes. First of all, again, the light could have been a little bit brighter. Second, maybe the most important, the non-removable battery can be a deal breaker for some, because for probably 90% of people, 30 minutes of runtime at full power is more than enough. You can fill up many rooms and you will run through more than half a bottle of fluid. So, I mean, it's a lot of smoke. But maybe you are a video maker, you have a big project, you shoot all day, and having the ability to just replace batteries and keep filming, run through many bottles of fluid can be a deal breaker for you. I am glad that they include a remote because other brands don't. It's super useful because you can just hide the smoke machine away. Maybe I'm gonna hide the radio so you see it's not infrared. It works from under the table. It works perfectly. I can even adjust the levels of the smoke coming out. It's just the remote doesn't feel incredibly premium and you don't have super granular control. It works just fine, I have no complaints with it, but I've seen other brands having better remotes, so that's why I put this in the nitpicks. Other brands, for example, this Ulanzi fog machine has the whole front panel coming out as a remote, and it feels more refined. It's not changing drastically the way you use it, it just feels a little bit more polished. And that's all for this review of the Colbor CF5 fog machine. I can totally recommend it. You can probably find some super cool uses of the fan and RGB light coming from it. Maybe for video making as well, it can be very nice. And it's a unique feature of this fog machine. And as always, remember to like, subscribe and comment on this video. Let me know what you think about this fog machine. Let me know if you think this added attachment is useful or not. And if you want to buy something, check out the links in the description down below. Clicking on them, you help this channel a lot and many times you find discounts. So, thank you so much, stay safe and happy fogging. Bye!